So we are back here on our kicking off our fourth annual Couch Coach Live Super Week. We are brought to you by here, powered by the good folks at SeatGeek. So head over to SeatGeek.com, use the promo code to get $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. So SeatGeek.com. We got a special guest in the building representing the AFC champions, the 11-6 regular season. Representing the Kansas City Chiefs, our guy Wildcard Mar from the IOW and also the Man Cave. What's going on, Mar?
Man, always a pleasure to be here with my man, Couch Coach, man. Like, hey, man, I always feel special and honored when you invite me onto the show. So, my brother, I'm doing well. Again, glad to be here, man. Let's get to it, man. Let's do it.
Yes, we are here. So definitely, we are here. This is Super Week as we get ready for Super Bowl 58 between the Mars Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers, or most people will affectionately say the Chiefs and the 49ers are playing at the Usher concert. So we are here. So,
Yeah,
the casuals be like, so we gotta definitely get talk about it. So obviously, as I mentioned, AFC Championship. Obviously 11-6 season, somewhat of a kind of an unorthodox year, especially in the in this Super Bowl era. Essentially in this Super Bowl era of the Kansas City Chiefs. So what's your overall thoughts on this season, the highs, the lows, and pretty much to the point to get to this point here, Super Bowl 58?
Yeah, man. The Chiefs, especially. Well, let me start with this. Being a Chiefs fan and being a Chiefs content creator, we're in the midst of something that I thought I would never see, and a lot of Chiefs fans thought we would never see. The vaunted word, the D word. And it's no, we're not getting X-rated, folks. We're talking about dynasty. The D word, and we got to be honest. We're kind of in the mix of a dynasty in the beginning stages. When you talk about, obviously, Patrick Mahomes has been a starter since 2018, and he hasn't missed the AFC Championship game. So that is something that is very something that you don't see on a regular basis. Fourth Super Bowl in his 6 years as a starter. That's something that's unprecedented for sure. And, obviously for the history of the Chiefs, I mean, before Patrick Mahomes took over in 2018 and him and Andy Reid have built something of, like I said, a dynasty in the making, because look at the Chiefs' history. Almost went 50 years between Super Bowl IV and Super Bowl 54, winning the championship. Went almost 25 plus years between the first playoff victory that they had in 93 to when Alex Smith won in 2017 or something like that. So what the Chiefs are doing now is astonishing to begin with. Now, when it comes to this season, man, hey, first 5 years of Patrick Mahomes, you see the pretty much the quote unquote Golden State Warriors on the football field, man. Like, they're putting up points at will, doing, all types of gadgets, doing a ring around a rosy, and doing like the old school Rose Bowl in the early 1920s formation. So they're doing some things that you're like, man, what is this? Is this football, or is this, or is this NFL blitz, or what's going on here? Like, what are we watching? We watching some type of Harlem Globetrotters on the football field. So that's what you kind of saw. Very high scoring, very, especially with Tyreek and Travis Kelce being at the helm. And, they trade Tyreek. And you thinking last year, no way, no way that offense is going to be as close to explosive as it was. And they went back to the Super Bowl and added another Super Bowl title. And you thinking, man, there's no way. Oh, no way they can repeat it. So you get into this year, you got a rookie wide receiver, Rasheed Rice. You got Kadarius Toney. You got Sky Moore and a whole bunch of named people that you don't really, have proven that they can, be anything worth the damn. Let's be honest. I'll be honest. I had optimism, but at the same time, I had my, my worries, my doubts, because I'm like, I got a rookie and I got a couple of cats 2 years into the system, and yeah, they may have won a Super Bowl, but I don't know. Still don't know. We still Travis Kelce still love him, but he's getting older. So how much, could you rely on Travis Kelce to be your spark plug for the offense? And you look at this year, and the lows are well documented. The drop passes, the lining up off sides, the just blunders that you thought you would never see with an Andy Reid and a Patrick Mahomes led offense. So the lows are they're there, they're obvious. The highs is that this is probably the first year with Mahomes as quarterback. You look and you like, you don't have to be Superman. You don't, and I know it's been a hot topic in the NFL this year, game manager. Patrick Mahomes has pretty much been a very elite game manager. And that's okay. Because you look at what's been going on the defensive side of the football, one of the very best defenses that's been playing, and they've been consistent like that all year. From literally week 1 to week 18, even through the wild card, divisional round, AFC championship game, they've been that consistent all year in shutting down high potent offenses when it matters. So it's been a different season for the Chiefs, but it's just, as Chiefs fans and football fans in general, it's just something you just had to adjust to, because you were not going to get those explosive, 1-2 play drives from the Chiefs this year. You just weren't, and that's not their offense anymore. And it's okay. It's okay if I got a very elite game manager in Patrick Mahomes. You thought you would never say that, but hey, whatever gets the job done. So that's pretty much been the thoughts on this season, man. Is they finally have somewhat of an identity, and they kind of, especially late in the season, and it's pretty much, hey, don't shoot yourselves in the foot, don't make the mistakes, uh, get the ball rolling especially on the run. And for those who are very well known with Andy Reid, man, trying to get that man to stay committed to the run is like almost trying to get a pimp to be in a monogamous relationship, man. You know how tough that is. So um, it's he stayed committed to it when it mattered, and kept the balanced offense, and hey, rely on that defense. So that was kind of the strategy down the stretch of the season, especially going into the this playoff run, and it ended up with being back in the Super Bowl. So it's a very different season, but still a success at the same time.
Yeah. So, and also, obviously, if now we're thinking, fast forward, the 2020 matchup to now the 2024 matchup in Super Bowl 58. What do you look at in this particular matchup on Sunday, where you look at what's the biggest advantage that Chiefs have over the 49ers?
Well, I mean, I just think the biggest advantage is there's two things that I'm looking at that are the advantage for the Chiefs. And I think they're very obvious. Quarterback position. People can say what you want about Brock Purdy and this and that, Mr. Irrelevant, and I've been a very big critic of Brock Purdy. But one thing that I can give credit for Brock Purdy is he's been making the plays when it matters, especially down this playoff stretch. Uh, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. I think we all know that. I think even 49er fans would they take the bias out and just speak logically on football. Like, yeah, I may like Brock Purdy as my quarterback with the 49ers, but he ain't no Patrick Mahomes. I mean, we just got to be honest about that. All right, there's a guy that got 2 MVPs, some Super Bowl trophies, and we got a guy that was literally picked last, literally. And so there's a huge difference in disparity of talent, I believe, at the quarterback position, and it's a huge advantage for the Chiefs at that point. And the second thing is Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan. Uh, Andy Reid right now, I believe he has 2 regular season wins and of course Super Bowl 54. So he's 3-0 over Kyle Shanahan within the last 4 or 5 years. So that goes as a huge advantage of Andy Reid. In the mental department, when you go into matchups like these, saying, "Hey, man, I kind of got your number a little bit," you know. So that's a slight advantage for Andy Reid to say that he has a slight advantage over Kyle Shanahan as well. But and it's not to downgrade Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan is a great coach, but we also got to look at the fact that Kyle Shanahan has only been able to achieve NFC championship game appearances in the last 4 or 5 years. And unfortunately hasn't been able to always remain in the Super Bowl, and he's lost the Super Bowl, and in particular to Andy Reid. So that could slightly, take an advantage over your mental a little bit. Football's just as much as a mental game as it is physical. So those are the 2 advantages I directly see that the Chiefs have over the 49ers for sure.
Absolutely. And and switching focus now, what do you look at as far as your Kansas City Chiefs? Any glaring weaknesses that you see with this team?
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. They're 49ers got talent everywhere on both sides of the football. As much as the defense has played well, uh, their weaknesses has always been against the run, running, covering running backs. You got a dynamic running back in Christian McCaffrey in the Super Bowl. The ultimate weapon for any offensive minded coach. I mean, the guy can run the ball between the lines, get him in space. He's a problem. But put that man in receiving routes. I mean, he runs pristine routes. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is a legit weapon. So dealing with him is what I think is going to be probably the most ultimate task for Steve Spagnuolo, for the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, is what you're going to do with him. Because I think that you can manage to contain Debo. You can manage to contain Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. But what you gonna do with Christian McCaffrey? That's the biggest question. Because hey man, you let that dude start running around catching them little Texas routes, the angle routes, and he in the flat, and your linebacker ain't quick enough to guard him, and he get loose. Boy, you got a problem on your hand. You got a problem. So what you gonna do with Christian McCaffrey? And that is the weakness right there. So obviously, stopping him in both the running and receiving game. And here's a little nugget as well. We saw Brock Purdy get a little bit mobility against the Lions late in that game too. The Chiefs have kind of struggled with mobile quarterbacks, which I was kind of surprised that Lamar Jackson didn't take advantage of that situation. But thank you, Lamar, for not doing that. But I mean, Brock Purdy showed a little bit of elusiveness against the Lions. So kind of watch out for him. So do you spy him? Do you just hope that everybody's paying attention? Do you go more zone so that you can keep your eyes on him? I don't know, because that might be something to look out for as well. So those are kind of some of the weaknesses that I'm seeing right there, and that's more towards the defense. On offense, is right now. It's kind of up in the air if Joe Tooney, the left guard, is going to play. But Nick Allegretti did well. But you gotta front four that's it's pretty talented. Can the tackles hold up? They've already been chirping. Yeah, we heard you, Nick Bosa. They do a lot of holding. We heard you, Jed York. President or GM of the 49ers. They do a lot of holding. Yeah, we heard it. So you obviously know that I think the 49ers are trying to make a message to the officiating early in the Super Bowl atmosphere that, hey, refs, look out for the tackles and the holding. You know, they're dropping nuggets. That's you know, say what you want. That's strategic. They're trying to make it an emphasis to look out for it. So I think that's a weakness on the offensive side that that the 49ers are going to definitely try to exploit.
Absolutely, like you said, it's definitely gonna be like you said that those are them definitely like some situations to look to. So, um, is there any far as particular matchups that you're looking forward to watch, or just some matchups that this is gonna be the point of emphasis for the Chiefs? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, kind of similar to what one of the weaknesses is. What is this linebacker crew going to do with CMC? Um, they can't let that guy get loose. I absolutely cannot let him get loose. Willie Gay, I know for sure, I know for a fact he'll play. He's been having some neck issues, but he didn't play in the AFC Championship game. And then, of course, you get 2 weeks to prepare for the Super Bowl. So he's pretty much almost been off a month. So he'll play. Drew Tranquill has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal in his play, especially in the AFC Championship game. He was all over the place. And then, of course, you know, Nick Bolton been a very outstanding linebacker for the Chiefs. So it's going to take all 3 of those gentlemen to make sure that find 23, find them. Make him feel us. But we gonna have to put a hat on him. Man, we gonna have to make sure we you know, because Christian McCaffrey, a lot of people, you know, couch, man, we seen how elusive this dude can get, man.
Oh yes, yes, yes,
We seen
yes.
how elusive Christian it's like the man put baby oil on his jersey and people be sliding off of him, man. I swear he do. You know that man slicker than fresh bacon grease, man. I swear he is. So, man, you got to make sure you tackle this guy. You got to put him to the ground, man. You got to make him feel you. And that's the matchup that I am absolutely going to be keen on, is making sure that these linebackers take down CMC.
Yeah. Oof, yeah, that's gonna be a arduous task,
Oh yeah.
to say the least. So I know you talked about, obviously, you know, we looked at, you talk about Patrick Mahomes, the linebacker core. You know, besides those two, who do you envision in this game on Sunday? Who will be the X factor for the Chiefs?
Man, it's one of those things where I don't think he's going to be a big part of the game, but I think for sure, because these two teams met in the regular season week 8 last year, and McCole Hardman had a huge game, had 2 end-around runs and scored twice. I'm not saying he's going to be a big part of the game plan, because obviously I don't think you know, make it that obvious that you try to repeat the same game plan from a year ago. But I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Andy Reid gets McCole Hardman involved in this game on some of those jet sweep end arounds, and just to get a huge chunk play or something, or just to get a momentum swinging type of play. If the Chiefs are down maybe like 10 points or so, just to spark something on offense. I can see McCole Hardman making a couple of splash plays to just you know, take some momentum and put it back on the Chiefs side. So I'm, you know, I may be way off base, and I'm being very hopeful, but at the same time, I can see it happening. And I just got a gut feeling that, especially McCole Hardman, who that Buffalo Bills game, he needs a little redemption time. So, you know, what better way to redeem himself than having a couple of splash plays in the Super Bowl? So, I'm gonna go with McCole Hardman as being an X factor. I don't know if it'll happen, but hey, we've seen stranger things in the NFL, so we'll see.
Yeah, especially like in a game of this way, like you said, it's usually those type of guys who make those type of impact plays. So yeah, I mean that's the beauty about this game, where it's like somebody will come out of the shadows and become that guy, that hero, or whoever, someone that will have a lifelong moment
Mhm.
in a sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
absolutely. So you know, so in order for you guys to get this will be what, your third Super Bowl. This be the what? It'd be the fourth. No, it'd be the fourth, right?
Well, if they win it, it'll be the fourth total.
Fourth. So the third in the Patrick Mahomes
Yeah,
era.
yeah, it'll be the third under Mahomes and Reed era. Um, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's what goes down.
So in other words, so my thing now is, so in order for the Chiefs to win their third Super Bowl in 5 years and their fourth Super Bowl altogether, what is going to be the keys for them to get in their fourth overall Super Bowl title?
um, I think they need to recreate what the Ravens did and recreate what they did against the Ravens. And what I mean by that is, you look at that Ravens game when they went to San Francisco, they outbullied the bully. And what you saw what the Chiefs did when they went to Baltimore is they outbullied the bully. Um, Chiefs got to start out fast and they got to hit hard on defense. They got to come out and be damn near flawless on offense. Um, I think if the Chiefs score first, I think they get the Super Bowl because they have shown against a quality team like the 49ers and such as the Ravens is that if you get out on them first, put them behind the eight ball and control the clock, which they did a masterful job on, uh, and pretty much setting the tone. I think Chiefs can get this game because as many weapons as the 49ers have on offense, if you have them Bama sitting on the sideline, how effective can they be? So um, Chiefs, to me, the perfect game plan is have your offense eat up some clock, you know, uh, uh, control the time of possession and control the turnover battle. Because let's see what Brock Purdy can do in a situation where he's not getting as many possessions. He's sitting there on the sideline, and then you put him against a good quality defense like this, and he's already in a pressure packed moment. And you could possibly get the turnovers right there because now his guys probably, a little frazzled a little bit. I mean, yeah, we seen him come back in a divisional round and in the NFC Championship game. Over this is Super Bowl. You know, we talking about real, sphincter clinching moments right here. This is the Super Bowl. Pressure on its ultimate level in the NFL. So this is the time where if you just um, minimize the mistakes, especially the turnovers, the penalties, control the clock, and ride a hot defense that is playing well. And like I said, let Patrick just manage the game, and they could be hosting another trophy, and I can go ahead and put another label behind my green screen. So I think those are the keys to the victory for them Chiefs right there, man.
Now I got to ask you the $1 million question. I got to get your prediction, and I also want a Super Bowl MVP. What you got? Oh, well, prediction including the score, and then also Super Bowl MVP.
Ooh, man. Uh I know a lot of people are talking about this might be a high scoring game. I just don't see it. Chiefs offense hasn't really been scoring a lot of points all season. I'm going 24-21 Chiefs, and I might go different. I don't think that even though if Patrick throws two touchdowns, they'll give it to him because they love quarterbacks getting MVPs and being
Sure,
awards. Yeah,
sure,
so they love
sure,
it.
sure.
Um, I think Pacheco should get it because I think he's going to be having a great game. We saw how the Lions were able to run the ball on that 49ers defense. This screams Isaiah Pacheco. this screams, him getting whether it's 90 to 120 yards and on 20 plus carries and a touchdown. So I'm gonna rock with 24-21 Chiefs, and I'm gonna go with Pop. They call him Pop, Isaiah Pacheco, man, representing New Jersey as the MVP. But we know they gonna give it to Pat though.
Right. Like you said, if it is a situation like that where, essentially he is the factor, because like you said, if it does happen that way, I mean, he could definitely be one. I mean, absolutely. I mean, and it's funny, and that's crazy that Super Bowl would be, because you think to yourself, everybody thinks about Brock Purdy, the 7th round pick. Then now you insert the 7th round pick and Isaiah Pacheco. And so that's the Super Bowl. I mean, that's literally how it happened. Another 7th round, guy who essentially no one that people are talking about him, but it's not like Brock Purdy is. But so yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they came on the same year. But that's the crazy thing about all that, So just it's possible. Sure.
That's wild, man. That's wild. I man, that's until you said that, Couch, man. I didn't even put that together like that, man. That's crazy, dog.
That's how it happens in the Super Bowl. So we're around our Kansas City Chiefs preview. So Mar, just before we head on out, social media, final thoughts, and just anything to chat going on that you want to promote away.
Oh man, I appreciate that, Couch, man. I'm a busy man. I got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of projects. But if you just want to follow me personally, going over to KC Wildcard Mar on Twitter. I still call it Twitter, X, whatever the hell. I call it Twitter, man.
I can't save it. Right?
Yeah, right. So going over to Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar. I'm always posting on Twitter, so you can see all the content that or the projects that I do have going on over there. Obviously, I got my own project, IOW Sports Network. We're everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That's the main one that I do. I also do 613 Fate Productions with my fellas over there. D-Man K Sports Podcast. I also got collaborations with my man Rada Uncensored, Graveyard Shift, and a collaboration with my man Bobby G, the Audible podcast. So, like I said, just going over to KC Wildcard Mar on Twitter, my personal Twitter page, and trust me, I post all of my projects that I got going on over there. So just to keep it all in one spot, so you don't have to get too confused. But definitely, man, and always a pleasure to chop it over with my man Couch Coach, man. I love what you're doing, man. I love your grind. I love your energy. I love your man. You just, hey, man, I never said this to you, and I'm gonna say this to you live right here. I absolutely love what you're doing, man. You're an inspiration to a lot of people who create content, man, because I'm in the background watching you grind, bro, and it's inspiring, my brother. So, hey, man, you keep up the great work. Love what you're doing, and your hard work and your persistence are going to take you so far, my brother. And I'm gonna give you your flowers every time I can give them to you, my brother. So that's for sure. Always appreciate you having me on.
Always, and the pleasure as well. I appreciate you as well, man. I love the stuff that you're doing as well, and it's always fun that we, because the play caller, so we always on and chopping up. It's been a great. Even when you reached out to me in August for the Commanders preview for your podcast, I was like, wow, kind of one of the things. Well, wow, people are paying attention, and somebody wants me to come on their podcast. So I've always appreciated that invitation, and look where it led to now, where I I wanted to be on the other side as far as going to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl, but obviously 4-13 versus now you guys are going to the Super Bowl. But in all seriousness, yes, indeed, I definitely appreciate it. And it's always fun chopping up with you. I mean, you make the play caller situation, the play callers Tuesday night show extremely fun. It's like it's like you add an extra element to it, because I'm always tripping when you're around. So we always do for a good laugh, and either between me and you, they got to cut the show because
Hey, man, I can't help
your
you.
energy, yeah.
Hey, Couch, you know I'm a cut up, dog. You know I'm a cut.
Right. So we bring that energy. So it's all but as far as and definitely appreciate Cool and Chris, but I mean, all four of us coming together as a force, man. I love it, and so when we did on Tuesdays, but yeah, so. Man, once again, I definitely appreciate you for coming on and taking your time. And I know you're busy as well, so definitely appreciate you for coming on. With your busy schedule. So I definitely, for sure, definitely appreciate you. And we gotta do something during the off season, because we ain't gonna wait to know August or September.
Oh yeah. Hey, all you gotta do is you know what you gotta do, man. Just hit me up, man, and we'll make something happen amongst both of our busy schedules, man. Because like I said, man, I really meant those words I said to you, man. I definitely appreciate your grind and your hustle in this game, man. And yo, bro, you really don't understand how inspiring you really are, brother. I don't think you understand how inspiring you really are. Just admiring your grind from in the background, man. And hey, shout out to Cool, man, because if it wasn't for Cool, I wouldn't have known about Couch. So I just love this community that we built, man. It's almost like a brotherhood. So I definitely appreciate it, my brother, and I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, and like I said, it's genuine as well. Like that's one thing too, where like you said, I definitely appreciative of those kind of words because you like you said in these type of situations, it's very rare that we get these. We can give each other flowers, and I had that opportunity, especially and especially with how with everything just in general, just in life in general. But definitely, I always definitely appreciate you.
Hey, one more thing, Cal.
Yeah,
One more thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna need you to talk to Magic Johnson, man. I'm gonna need you to talk to him. Oh, man, y'all done did my boy Eric Bieniemy hella dirty down there, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. EB
I
should
know.
be head coach. He should be your coach right now. And y'all went in here and got Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn.
Who are you telling?
Hey, I gotta ask you about that. How you feel about it, though?
I mean, I'm starting to kind of get, when I first found out, when they made it official, but I'm hearing a lot of his former players, and they really rave about him. We even had a guy, in the Commanders, Logan Paulson, who played for him in Atlanta, and he said, he's a great man. He cares for people. He'll be the type of person that they say that he'll be. He'll know you personally, and he'll be ready to, pretty much run through that brick wall for him in a sense, more so, metaphorically, not literally. But people will say like, "Why would they do that?" But no, but a part of me, I think it's gonna grow on me. I think sometimes it's okay to not like be cool with it in a sense because I think if it translates to wins, then it is what it is because that's what we really want to happen here. I'm just curious how he's going to do with this defense because obviously you look at the Cowboys defense where you can run on them all day, but our defense was suspect. The biggest thing with us defensively is our pass defense. So you're hoping that he'll be able to kind of help guys like Cam Curl go to the next level, Emmanuel Forbes. I definitely think you can see like a Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne buying into this. And I mean, it's a shame now not having Montez and Chase. I mean, that you think about your bookend ends, not be on this team and think you have a Dan Quinn type of defense potentially. So, but I'm hoping this going to kind of go into your world. Obviously there's been speculations about Big Red retiring. So I'm hoping if he does retire, then that brings back Eric Bieniemy because he deserves an opportunity. And I get people say, well, it didn't work here, but it was just 1 year, and then he necessarily didn't have the personnel like he has in Kansas City. So, I mean, what did you guys expect? I mean, he don't, you don't, and I love Sam Howell. I love Sam Howell to death, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. So it's like, and it's where that's where it's always interesting all that as far as when it comes to that. We talk about guys who develop guys, but he's an integral part of the success of Patrick Mahomes, who is the best quarterback in the league. But we can give guys credit for elevating Jared Goff or who else? Who else been in there? We talked about Baker Mayfield. Dan Canales going to Carolina. Other guys. So it's just like it's funny how he gets no one. Like they think that this Patrick Mahomes came out of nowhere. Like he was, this guy that came out of Texas Tech and. Because so I was like, I don't understand like how he doesn't get credit while everybody else gets credit for the little stuff.
That's fair. That's a great point.
So I don't get it. Like this whole thing of he in the past they say, well, he's interviewed bad, but I'm like, I don't understand. But I found it funny because they said his interview went very well.
Mm-hmm.
When he interviewed with Washington. So I'm like, so what was the other 18 other opportunities that he interviewed for? How he bombed all 18 of them? I'm like,
make it make sense.
Make it make sense because none of this makes sense, and it's just like and you don't want to play that kind of card, but it's kind of like obvious because if he, you think to yourself, if you and this is on a blind resume, you helped develop Patrick Mahomes his first year. He had he was the MVP his first year he started.
MVP,
yeah, that's right. His MVP, yeah, his first year he started.
Yeah,
and he's been a perennial quarterback in this league since the beginning. So it's just like how I don't get it.
Yeah,
and then even the situation in Washington where people was going to Ron Rivera because he was coaching them too hard. And I'm like, huh? Like, that's his job. Like, you got a guy who just won a Super Bowl and you think he coached you hard. What you thought was going to happen? You're coming off a team that you barely hit 500. What you thought was going to happen when he got here?
Hey, man. Hey.
And that should have been my sign. That's like when you been in love and you don't recognize the first red flag. That should have been the first red flag to let me know this season was going to be a failure. But no, I didn't do it. I kept ignoring it. 4-13.
Watch them red flags, y'all.
Right. And that was in preseason. So that threw me off. That was preseason. So yeah, man. So we'll wrap up the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl 58 preview. So what we'll catch you guys on the next episode as we continue Couch Coach Live 4th annual Super Week. We'll catch you on the next one, and we're out.